What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode. Today we are working on the R32 Skyline. We have not touched this car probably in 2 months, maybe. And the car was kind of buried with parts from other cars sitting on top of it, stuff sitting inside. And basically there was some period of slowdown on the Skyline because of cost and availability. So today we are actually going to pull the Skyline out. I'm charging the battery up right now. I'm going to pull it out, and we made a list of things that needed to get done. But for today, I think I'm going to work on straightening out the frame under the passenger seat. So the frame that runs from front to back, basically from right around the bolts on the front of the passenger seat to right where this door piece ends here is twisted underneath. Let me see if I can get a flash on that. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So right here, you can see it's pushed in right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop the exhaust from the turbo and drop it from the intermediate pipe right there. And that will give us full exposure of this twisted frame right here. You can see the frame rail up here. And it comes twisted way back like that. So that's what we're going to work on today. In order to do that, we have to move my Grand National, get that out, and then put the Skyline up on the lift. All right, after a quick charge, we started it up. We're gonna go ahead and move the car out of the garage now, and then move the Grand National out of the garage and bring this one back in on the lift. Go ahead and back it out. All right, we got the Skyline up on the lift. I'm gonna show you what I was talking about underneath. You can see a bit of hair from the outside. This frame right here. So right about right here where this flashlight is to about right there is what we want to fix. So what I'm going to do, first thing we're going to do is drop this intermediate pipe right here, or the down pipe coming off the back of the manifold right here. So we're going to take these 3 bolts out, take these 2 bolts out, and then this holding bracket down right here. We'll remove this pipe, and then I'm going to use my frame bending tool with some wood and try to get some push in here. So there's a lot of brake lines and fuel lines on this side, so we're going to see what we can mount to and push on this piece of frame here to see if we can fix this twist. You can see here where the frame basically sandwiched. See that? That's all the actual frame twisted right here. So that's what we're going to work on right now. Let's get started by removing this exhaust. All right, so we got Isaiah taking off the upper manifold bolts, the 3 of them there. There's 3 14s. We already cracked off the exhaust bracket back here. It's got the bolt holding on for the weight. And then back here on the intermediate pipe, we just have the 1 bolt holding for weight also. So I'm going to go ahead and put the camera down and support the weight of that pipe. Alright, so I mounted up the frame bending tool, the hydraulic press that I have here set up. I've set it up. Isaiah's been heating the frame off camera here. Our hands have been full. I should set up the tripod and you can watch us do a little bit more. But so far, this part of the frame right here has already straightened out. This back piece has already straightened out a lot. It's almost lined up with these 2 right here. And we're going to work our way over and continue to try to see if we can bend this down little by little. So we're going to keep heating and then pushing with this press. All right, so we've already straightened up the upper frame rail here. You can see this was bent. You can kind of see where the kink was here. We've gotten her all the way back to right in front of the seat. So now the only part that's bent is maybe 15 to 18 inches left. So you can see where we straightened it out over here. From this bend was where it started earlier. We came about that far right there, and then we jumped way up here to where the curve starts. So we straightened this part of the frame rail. This is a very important piece because this goes up towards the strut tower. And then this piece yesterday, when we were underneath here, or earlier in this video, you saw that I could barely even put my fingers in here. And you can see when this frame came up, it bent the floor panel up. You can see it here. So we've already worked our way down to this part here. Now we only have this little piece. We discussed about cutting this piece of frame right out. You can see where the tack weld, where it welds up to here and it welds here. We can cut this piece of frame right out of the car, bang it out, strain it out, put it back on the car and weld it back on. That's gonna be our worst case scenario. So we're gonna keep working our way, straighten out the rest of this bend. And then we'll worry about the creases on this side here. You can see where from us pushing it's creasing the frame, but we are straightening the frame on the inside. So from here, the frame is straight, and you can see it still kicks in right here. It's a good angle. You can see it kicks in right here. So we're gonna finish this piece right now. Yeah. It's falling out. So we got. Go ahead, push. Push. There you go. There you go. Okay, stop. That's enough. Drop it. Okay, I gotta reposition. I think this might have cooled off by now. I can't even get in there. Let's try this. I like that. Yeah. Stop. There we go. Came back a little bit on that one. All right, let's heat. Let's heat. Yeah, look at that.
Were you pushing here?
So you can see, yeah. You can see we only have this little bit left. It's working. It's painful on the shoulders to hold that heavy hydraulic press in there.
Today's not even legs and shoulders.
No, today's back goodbye day. But we're almost done here. A little bit left right here. And this is the easy part because there's no fuel lines or brake lines on this side. Where on this side, you can see we have shit everywhere. So we're trying to find gaps in between things. And we thought about using the lift, but I don't want to push the car off the lift. So if you see the lift and thinking on that off camera to say, why don't they just hook up right here on the lift and push that way? That's dangerous. We don't want to mess with the lift. So we're just doing what we're doing, and so far it's been working for us. Go ahead and keep heating, brother. Huge difference, man. Nice one. We'll try to rehook right here and push on that, like the way we did there. We're almost done.
Here, right?
Dude, we are almost done with this inside shit. Now we're just worried about heating up the outside of the rim, on the outside of the frame, and then just keep going there. We're gonna come back and push here again a little bit though, okay? After we're done with these bends. Even after we're done putting everything, we gotta make sure we put the exhaust on to move the car.
Well, you think it would be too loud out of there?
Yeah, you probably throw flames out of it. You catch the car on fire.
I wanted to throw flames when we're done.
Dude, this thing is, I'm really happy that the inside is straight.
Okay. I bet it's a lot stronger now that it's
Rigid?
vertical.
Yeah. And not a sandwich?
We just changed the direction of the sandwich as well.
No, it's sandwiched on both sides. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get that thing up top here and push down on it.
Maybe I should just in.
No, I don't need it over there anymore. I'm over there. You can see a little bit of a hole in the frame right there, see it? From bending.
good that it doesn't go all the way back.
So think of like we're doing with this. We can do it with strut power the same way.
How do we do that? Can you strut to strut?
No, I'm gonna. I've seen videos of these guys that.
You might want to hook one end to something and then just.
No, listen. I watched a guy use a bulldozer, a small bulldozer, and remember that big hook bolt I found, the big bolt. He took that and then drilled a hole and put the piece of plate on the inside of the car, and then bolted that so the plate was like this big on the inside of the car, right? And he put the bulldozer bucket, right, or front loader bucket on that hook with a chain, and he just pulled the sheet metal right out, just like this. You want to look at your gloves, you got black on your face. You got grease on your face now. All right, stop.
All right, let's go.
You have grease on your face.
Hurry before it
Cools down.
Yep.
Make sure you're tight.
Yep.
You're tight.
Mm-hmm.
There. And son of a bitch. Loosen.
Loosen.
Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, tighten. Tighten.
Yep.
Good. Stop. Loosen. Came off on this backside. Came off.
Loosen more.
Loosen more, yeah. I'm trying to see if I can get it up here a little bit just to get this bench out a little bit. There. Yeah. I'm not doing nothing. Okay, now it is. Okay, stop. Loosen. Camera back. Whew, that was hard. That was tough. I didn't like that one. It was very tough because I wasn't barely in a spot. Give me a second to breathe. Okay, so we've used the press, the hammer, and we got the inside of the frame. So we can get that without hitting anything. There you go. The inside of the frame is creased, as you can see. Or excuse me, the middle or towards the outside of the car now. But the frame itself is no longer bent on the inside. So now we're just going to work on twisting out the center of it and towards the rocker panel now. All right, so we got the exhaust back on. You can see we bolted up the exhaust. Got it all hung up the way it's supposed to be, bolted up. And now the frame is no longer sandwiched into the floor panel here. You can see where it was touching before, up in here. But we're still gonna work on the outside of the frame here to get this straight. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some makeshift frame connectors to weld from the front to about here to kind of clean this up. But the frame is no longer twisted in. It's just, now it's kind of where it needs to be here. And that's it for today. Tomorrow or the next day, we'll work on some more pushing this frame out, and we'll probably see if we can continue to push this lower kick panel back out and rocker panel out here. But for today, we are done. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and stay tuned.